Alright guys, Dokkan time, and the Rose EZA LR Rose EZA, words, he has finally been released, or he's going to be released. His EZA details are out. So, you know what that means. That means we gotta know how to build this fool. Well, I'm gonna try and make it as simple as entirely possible. You can look at my previous video where I did mention him alongside the LR Fusion Intelligence Zamasu. And he was built for additional and dodge originally. So if that's all you needed to know, then there you go. If you want to know the details as of why, then you can continue watching. So he is now a future saga category leader, key +4 attack and defense, HP 150%, extreme intelligence types, key +4 100%. He greatly raises on his 12 key, same as before, but now on his 18 key, he greatly raises attack and defense instead of just defense. He now has key +3 attack and defense 160%, which is almost 100 plus more attack and defense that he had before. He has attack and defense plus 8% for each time key rises by 1. So that means every single time that you actually, like, collect a key sphere. So if you collect 5 key spheres, that'll be 5 plus 8. So 8 times 5, that's what, 40? Math is hard. Yeah, if you collect 4 key spheres, you would get 32% defense. Yeah, 4 key spheres and you'd get 32% attack and defense for that. So collect as much key spheres with them as possible. For all you know, if you have an orb changer, you could collect all of that instantly. But basically, you can go up to an additional attack and defense of 160%. And he also gets key +3 when key is 18 or more. Okay, so he gets an additional key +3 when key is 18 or more. So as soon as he hits 18 key, he automatically gets put up to 22 key. That's something you should all keep in mind, because when he hits 22 key, he launches an additional super attack. So 18 key is a guaranteed additional super attack. He also gets key +6 and high chance of performing a critical for the rest of the battle after delivering a final blow. Now that sucks. I will say that. That is very unfortunate, because delivering a final blow can be very difficult when you're in fights that are only 1 or 2 phases. So he does have a 50% chance to crit built in, which is great. That's fantastic. But you have to deliver the final blow. That's the only unfortunate part. I think for a lot of fights in the game, that is perfectly fine. Obviously not for the Stage 5 Fusion Zamasu fight of the new Red Zone, and obviously not any of the Omega or Sin Birth of the Shadow Dragons fights. He will not do well in. But the rest of the fights in the game, he should be perfectly fine. This is kind of a thing for players that haven't finished all of these. Let's see here. What else does he do? He recovers 6% HP when HP is 66% or above, and he recovers 6% HP at the end of the turn in which the time he received an attack. So as long as he can defensively take an attack, he's going to be recovering at least 12% HP every single turn, which is very good. There's so much HP regen, it's insane, man. His team just recovers so much HP. Once he actually goes into a rage mode, he greatly raises attack on 12 key, massively raises on 18. So greatly is 70%, and massively is 100%. He also has key +6, receives an additional key +2 per key sphere obtained, and he has attacks effective against all types. So he will not get the crit chance from his base stat for this. This is just how he is. So you want to go additional on him just for this alone, because if he 18 keys, he's raising his attack by 100%. And then if he additionals, he'll get a 70% increase. He can do a lot of damage in that rage form. He'll do pretty well. You can definitely easily get the key for it, too. Let's unzoom this real quick. Thank you, Enerjack YT, for some early defensive numbers here and attack numbers. I'll go over the defense numbers because that's what everybody cares about the most. His defense numbers are as follows. With a 200% lead, he'll be at that 116. Let's see here. With the 160 fully built up, full max link level 10s, he'll be at 200k. He'll be at 189 pre-super. So before he super attacks. After he super attacks, his first super attack, he'll be at 740k defense. 740k defense is very good, in my opinion. Post-super, that's very good. Now, if you hit 18 key, it's guaranteed. Guaranteed you're going to do 2 super attacks. That's 987k, so that's dang near a million defense. A million defense just on a double super, okay? And then once he triple supers, he'll be at 1.2 million defense. If you ask me, that's pretty good, okay? He doesn't have damage reduction, he doesn't have guard, but that's pretty bloody good. That's pretty bloody good. That's not including a 40% buff from any ally. That's not including a Bulma buff. That's not including anything else. This is just his links. This is his 200% team. This is him triple supering. This is rainbow stats, I assume. I couldn't tell you if that's true. But yeah, no, I mean, he's fine. He'll be okay in a lot of the fights in the game. Will he do the best in the stage 5 Fusion Zamasu stage? Probably not. Will he do okay in some of the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will? Yeah, he'll do pretty good for some of them. You still shouldn't take him up against a Trunks. Trunks will still murk him once you hit the phase 2. So yeah, I mean, he's not going to be the best option in all of the hardest fights in the game, but he's still a very solid unit for a majority of the fights in the game. And that's what's important, is that he's still usable in the majority of the content of the game. Not the hardest, though. I will say that. He's not going to do well in the hardest fights. If we want to go look at his attack stat, I mean, his attack stat could be better. Rage mode, 3.8, 5.8 in total. Wow. 20. Yo, what is that damage? What is that damage? That damage is insane. I don't know if that damage calculation is right, but if that damage calculation is right, boy, is he hitting. He's hitting like a truck. He's hitting like a truck. He might actually do pretty well, like, damage-wise. 27 million? Dang. Okay. I can't whistle. Yeah, attack-wise, he's not too bad. He's not too bad attack-wise. So I think for a majority of people, I think he'll do very well. Obviously not the best in every fight in the game. Yeah, he won't do an insane amount of damage in his rage form, but it could be pretty decent damage for a free turn, you know? Like, it's not the worst. Once again, thank you, Enerjack YT, for popping out these calculations early as possible. What do you guys think of the new LR Rose EZA? My highest suggestion for him is go full additional and then put the rest into dodge. I wouldn't necessarily say put crit into him, because if you get a final blow, he'll get crit. It's not like crit would be a bad choice necessarily, but you have to absolutely focus on additional and then give him a little bit of dodge, you know? So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope it helped you choose how you're going to build this guy, and I hope you have a good day and a good night.